We're here. We did it. We're up and running, baby. Welcome to Guantanamo Bay with me, your Bay, Guantanamo. We are finally getting our channel set up to do our cartoon, book, and movie reviews and getting our series started. We're doing 90s and early 2000s cartoon breakdowns. And I want to start off with a heavy hitter called As Told by Ginger. Now, As Told by Ginger has a phenomenal opening theme song sung by the Macy Gray. And it's like, she's one of my hear me outs because if you remember her from That's So Raven, oh my gosh, brother. Anyways, let's get right into it. We're starting off with episode 1, Juvie Ginger, or Ginger the Juvie. Let's roll. Now, the episode opens up with a conversation between our big three. We got Ginger, Macy, and Dodie. Now, Macy's a little more reserved, she's a little shy. She's not really out there like that. Ginger is our title character. We're going to get to know a lot about her, obviously. And Dodie is going to be referred to as Dumbho Dodie until I get tired of it because she makes me sick. Anywhooms, they're talking about a sleepover that they're going to have at Dodie's house. And they're going to have Sloppy Janes. And Dodie already hits a strike one. Strike one, Dumbho. Because they're talking about giving each other pedicures at the sleepover. And Macy goes, I call dibs on giving Ginger a pedicure, which, all right. And Ginger goes, cool, black and blue, same as usual.
Then pedicures and homework. How's that sound? Pedicures? Dibs on Ginger. Black and blue polish, same as always.
Hang on to that. This whole conversation is being monitored through like a makeup mirror. And that makeup mirror belongs to the Courtney Gripling. Now, Courtney's one of the richest people in the city. And she's not really known to have a lot of friends, but she do got her homegirl Miranda, and Miranda's voiced by Cree Summers, another one that we gonna get into later. But anyways, they're going to Dodie's mom's car because she pulls up and Dodie goes, I call frontsies. And Courtney goes, what are frontsies, Miranda? And Miranda goes, I don't know, but I can Google it if you want. And she goes, nah, I think I want to find out my own way. So now the seed is planted in Courtney's head that she wants to do sleepovers as well. She wants to do what friends do. We move. So the scene transitions into the sleepover. And first things first, why is Dumbho Dodie the one painting Ginger's nails when Macy called dibs? Second thing, why are the nails that are being painted in Popular Peach? When Ginger clearly stated that she wanted her nails black and blue
polish.
I'll tell you why. Because Dodie is a meat writer and she says Courtney Gripling wore this same color and got the perfect score on all of her marks last semester. All right. From there, it cuts over to Courtney's house where she's having Miranda do her toes. And she's like, Miranda, be careful. I'm tender-footed. And then Miranda's like, yo, why don't we just go to the salon? Like, it makes no sense why we're out here touching each other's feet. Courtney goes, because Miranda, friends do each other's toes. It's as simple as frontsies. And Miranda's like, all right, cut all that. Let me know who you want me to invite to your surprise birthday party. Because Courtney has to plan her own surprise party because she doesn't have enough friends to do it for her. Miranda is her only homie, and that's just what it is. So Courtney is listing off names that she wants to invite to the party, and then she ends up saying, I also want to invite Ginger Foutley. To which Miranda said, hell nah. And she goes, why? She goes, Ginger Foutley has absolutely nothing to offer to this party. It's going to bring down the vibes. You do not want Ginger Foutley at this party. Courtney goes, we're going to move on. Make sure you get her on the list. Whole time, they're being spied upon by Blake Gripling, Courtney's little brother. Now, there's a fan theory that says that Blake is in love with Ginger's brother, Carl. I don't think that's the case. Because if you look at the dynamic, as I've been watching these episodes, it's not that. It's a little bro desperately looking for a big bro kind of vibe. It's not what people are trying to make it out to be. If you want to talk about who deserves to be at the Pride Month parade, we're going to get into Hoodsy in just a little while. Cool. So, Blake calls up Carl and Hoodsy on a walkie-talkie, and he goes, I got some information for you. Ginger is invited to my sister's birthday party. And Carl is like, why are you telling us this? And he goes, because for that information, I want your petrified eyeball. And then Carl goes, you dummy. Like, if you want something and you're going to blackmail somebody for it, you have to withhold the information until you get what you're looking for. And then click, hang up. So Carl pull up the Ginger room, kick open her door. Macy start having a panic attack off rip. And she started, and Dodie talking about some Macy, breathe through your good nostril.
Ooh, quit doing that, Carl. You're gonna give Macy a heart attack. Breathe, Macy, through the good nostril.
Dumb hoe. And so Ginger's like, Carl, what do you want? What do you want? And Carl is like, I have some information about Courtney Grippling. And of course, dumb hoe Dodie is, what is it? What is it? And then he's like, well, yeah, do you want it? If you want it, we want
your curling iron. What for? Classified.
So boom, they make the exchange. They tell them that Courtney invited Ginger to her birthday party. Dodie start tweaking. She says anybody who's anybody is gonna be there. Hoodsie reminds her, you're not going. And she goes, well, still, it's a good thing for Ginger. Hoodsie is Dodie's little brother, by the way. Hoodsie cool, Dodie dumb hoe. Remember that. So the next day pops up and they're at school. Ginger bumps into Courtney in the hallway, drops all her books. Courtney goes, Ginger, I was hoping to run into you. Ginger goes, for real? Really? She goes, of course, we're good friends. Ginger goes, we are? And she goes, absolutely. Then the hall monitor come out. That passes for making number 1 and number 2, not idle chit chat. Whoa. Courtney Grippling, my fault. If I knew it was you, I would have relaxed. You need an escort back to class?
That pass is for making number 1 or 2, not idle chit-chat. Now get back. Courtney, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it was you. Do you need an escort back to class?
Courtney's like, for sure. You could walk me back to class. Give me an escort. Ginger, nice shoes. Make sure you wear those to my surprise you know what. I'll see you there. So Ginger takes her hall pass and continues on to the bathroom. To which Miranda pulls up on her now. And she goes, Ginger, hello. Washing your hands, are we? That's good.
Ginger,
Hi, Miranda.
I see you're washing your hands. That's good. Very good.
Which was wild. But anyways, she goes, I heard you're going to Courtney's party. And I'm sure you know exactly what to bring her. And I mean, of course it's complicated. What can you really give somebody who has everything? But you better bring something. Because in this town, you're only as good as your last gift. And you better not forget that. And then she walks out the bathroom, leaving Ginger dismayed. Oh man, of course I have to bring her a gift. And I didn't even think about it. What can you get somebody who has everything? So then we move on to Carl and Hoodsie's bathroom. And they definitely put those curling irons to use. Carl got the bangs, Hoodsie got the do. But Hoodsie's on the toilet while Carl is talking to him. And he's basically saying like, yo, if we want to get some exclusive photos that we can use as black mail from Courtney's party, we got to use Blake's treehouse. So we need to figure out a way to be super nice to Blake so that way he invites us to the party so that way we can spy on everybody there. While they're having this conversation, Hoodsie finishes up on the toilet. Some kid walks in and says, how much for a hairdo? And then Carl goes, not for sale today, buddy. Meaning that Carl is like a school hustler for whatever his grade level is. Jump back to the girls. They're walking out of school and Darren is with them. Now, Darren is the epitome of black men don't cheat. We're going to learn about him in the next season. Just keep that in mind. He ain't do nothing wrong. However, right now he's a nerd. He's Roger before Roger got the glow up in Sister Sister. He gets a wedgie. Not really important. Ginger stressing. I don't know what to get Courtney for her birthday. In comes Miranda again. She goes, I know what you can get her. And it's not going to cost you a dime.
It's totally original, and it doesn't cost a dime.
Of course. An interest-yielding IRA account linked with free checking. That's what every girl wants. On the inside.
The enter sign, Ginger, for outside Courtney's bedroom.
And her friends are also like, yeah, this is a lot. And Miranda's basically like, well, it's falling off anyways. All you got to do is pluck it. You got till 4:15 to decide, because that's when I get out of clarinet practice. So the boys, Carl and Hoodsie, they pull up on Blake at the playground. And they're like, what's good, Blake? What you got going on tomorrow, bro? Like, you trying to pull up at the doghouse and kick it with us? And Blake is like, I have to respectfully decline. I see my sister's birthday is tomorrow, and I planned on stirring up a bit of mischief. How about we reschedule? And Carla's like, nah, me and Hoodsie don't do well with rejection. You got this one opportunity, and it's not coming back around. So it's either now or never. And then Blake is like, oh, well, okay, I guess. I'm sorry. And then Carl and Hoodsie walk away. And Hoodsie's like, what are we going to do now? And Carl is like, we're going to sit and wait. Boom, pan over to Ginger. She in her bedroom. She's contemplating, should I steal the sign? Should I not steal the sign? What do I do? She's basically like, if I steal the sign, I can go to prison. If I don't steal the sign, I won't become popular. And then life is going to be like a prison. And then Darren's sitting in a window talking about something. Yeah, but at least in prison, they got bunk beds. And bunk beds are kind of cool, especially the top bunk. And I don't like that they made Darren that character to be able to have that insight on jail. Not feeling it. So then Ginger's like, so you're saying I should steal the sign? And he's like, no. I'm just saying bunk beds are cool. She goes, you're right. I need to go get this sign so that way I can be popular and go to this party. She makes up her mind. She calls Miranda. She says, hey, Miranda, we're going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the sign to give to Courtney for her birthday. And Miranda goes, excellent. You're making such a good choice. Not knowing, this is where we find out Miranda's the ops because her pops is a cop. Feel me? So that night, they wait for Ginger's mom to leave. And you're going to hear it in another video, but Ginger's mom, Lois Foutley, not right now, but later on in the series, you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, they wait for her to leave, and then the gang is there. They're saying, let's go raid Carl's bedroom and get some of his stuff so that way we can do our little B&E, take the sign, get up out of there. Blake has changed his mind, and he's decided he's going to go to Carl's doghouse because he wants that preserved eyeball. The eyeball that he tried to blackmail him for. So there's a montage. They get Carl's stuff. They dress up in all black. They jump out the window. They had to go steal the sign. Blake, on the other hand, comes to the doghouse. He gets caught in a booby trap, and now he's stuck, while Carl and Hoodsy are busy taking pictures to try to blackmail people who attended the party. So boom, they're at the sign. They're like, do it, Ginger, do it, Ginger, do it. As soon as Ginger touched the sign, whip, cop pull up. They got a tip. And then Darren's like, hey, that cop is Miranda's dad. And then they put her in the car. She says, am I going to jail? And he goes, you don't have to worry about jail. And then they start rolling out. So I guess on the way home, because the cop tells Ginger, you're not going to go to jail. You're looking at probation, community service, and definitely a grounding from your mama. They have to pass by the party. Everybody's outside at the party when the cops are coming by. Hoodsy, who's busy taking pictures of people at the party, is like, Ginger's in the back of that cop car. And Carl is like, hey, yo. And so Ginger leans out the police car with the cuffs on. She goes, Courtney, I'm sorry I can't make it to your party. I got arrested for robbing a bank. And see, I didn't even get front seats. Saying basically like, look, like I'm really in trouble. Like I'm in the back of the cop car. And so everybody's like, yo. And then Courtney, I think in a move to make Ginger seem more popular as like a homie, even though they're not really homies, she goes, oh my gosh, Ginger Foutley tried to rob a bank. What a surprise. And everybody starts cheering, clapping, blah, blah, blah. And Miranda's pissed. She's like, how is it that even when Ginger Foutley loses, she wins? And then they move on. That it just ends right there. So, boom. Lois Foutley is sitting on the couch pissed because everybody's out the house. She ain't know anybody was going anywhere. She home from work, nobody's there. Carl and Hoodsy bust through the door. Yo. She's looking at them. She's mad at them, but they're telling her, Ginger's been arrested. And she's like, what? And Carl is like, I swear it. I know it's usually me, but this time it's Ginger. And so she gets up, she goes down to the police station, she picks up Ginger. Obviously, Ginger is grounded. So we pan over to Ginger writing in her journal. This is something that happens a lot. Ginger is a writer. You're going to see that way more in future episodes, but Ginger loves to write. So she is on probation. She does have community service, but she's grounded. She can't socialize with anybody. And so with that being the case, she can't talk on the phone. So when the phone rings and it's Dumbho Dodie, she has to leave a voicemail. And the voicemail is basically telling Ginger, oh my gosh, like everybody's talking about you. You're going to be so popular because, you know, Dodie is thirsty for that popularity. She's like, this is so amazing for our reputation. You have to call me back. Ginger smiles. I guess everything is going to be okay. And the episode ends. And that's episode 1 of As Told by Ginger the Juvie. And I like how this show it's episodic, but there is like a faint continuity aspect to it. There is a storyline. Things that happened the previous episodes do carry on into later episodes. And I appreciate that. We're going to talk more about it as the episodes go on. So yeah, that was episode 1. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. I'm going to be dropping 3 episodes a week. This one might be combined into episode 2. I haven't decided yet. This is just a beginning of everything. So give me some time to get my feet wet and figure out how I want things to operate. Appreciate you.